Baron Nashor Ultimate Rare, TCGPlayer listing 8,000. Pre-release weekend eBay sale 3,400. My target 3,000. Current price $1,400. Guys, I was completely wrong about this, so let's talk about it. About a week ago, I dropped a video on this channel breaking down some specific singles from Riftbound Unleash. Which ones I thought were overpriced, which ones I thought were worth picking up once that pre-release FOMO crash settled. I shared some of my price targets, and today, about a week later, we're going to go ahead and do an accountability check. Every single card I called, what I said, what the market actually did, and whether I was right or wrong. And guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Some of these I did nail, and others, bro, I missed, and you deserve to know exactly where and why. We're running through Vilemaw, Rengar, Image Vex, and the whole Baron family. Before we get into it, I need you to do me a huge favor. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out, and anytime I drop a new video, you'll get notified. So if you do that, thank you. Now, let's lead with the biggest story first, right now. Baron Nashor Ultimate Rare. The bearded Baron, right? A week ago, TCGPlayer on this channel, we saw the listing that was sitting around $8,000. Now, guys, I always tell you, TCGPlayer is just asking prices. Doesn't necessarily mean it's sold. No one's actually paying that. So we went ahead and went into eBay. We pulled the sold comps up, and the last verified sale was $3,400. That was your market price. And that's where money actually traded hands. So that's why we know 3,400 was the price anchor. And I best my guess based on that. And I call the price target maybe around $3,000. We look back at the latest sold price, $1,400. That is a 59% drop from my target. That's a mega crash, and I was wrong. So let's actually talk about what happened here, because this isn't just prices went down story. This is actually going to be a lesson on ultimate rares behave completely different when it comes to Riftbound in this game. So here's what I got wrong. When you look at epic cards, players' demand drives that price. People need epics to play the game, to put in their decks. You got a real functional demand underneath those prices. A couple of things happened here with Baron Nashor. I underestimated the amount of buyers wanting to scoop up this card as a collection or as a collector. Secondly, the larger release of Unleash product that just came out, which resulted in more people opening packs, which resulted in more Ultimate Barons being pulled. And lastly, if you just look at some of the TCGPlayer history, they were slashing the price, but not just by $10. You can see some instances where sellers were slashing the price anywhere from $200 to $500. Because of that slashing, you saw the card go from 8,000 to 4,000 to 3,500, 3,000, 2,000, and it just kept going. Now, some sellers were just undercutting the previous seller by $10. I think that's the route you should be doing. But some of these sellers who are more urgent to sell, maybe to get some of back their initial investment for multi-in the product, or just trying to slash so they can sell. And unfortunately, when you start doing like that, it's just a race to the bottom. And here's the thing I want you guys to actually take away from this, because it's not just about Baron Nashor. Every single time a new set drop, the supply chain works against you on high ticket items. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Don't FOMO into cards on pre-release weekend. The supply hasn't fully hit the market, the real comps haven't settled, and this is exactly a textbook example of why you should wait. All right, guys, now let's run through the rest of the cards that I was reviewing during that pre-release weekend and what happened, and here's the verdict. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first up, we have Vilemaw, the regular epic. I had this one anywhere from $15 to $25 as a buy window for myself. It's actually sitting at $26, so that's basically kissing on the top of the range. I pretty much got it right. It's not quite there. I would say give it another week. We could see this hit that price target around $20. So I'm going to call this one too early. The call is right, just the timing needs a little bit more patience. If you can wait, then wait. If you can't, just go ahead and scoop it up. Now, the Vilemaw Alternate Art, I called this to be around $30 to $35. It's actually sitting exactly at $30 right now. So that one was dead on target. So if you picked the Vilemaw Alt Art this week, you bought it by exact number. So that's actually, I think, a clean win. Now, Orange Rengar, I called it to be around $10. It's actually sitting at $19 right now. Same story as the regular Vilemaw. Right direction, not there yet. In maybe another week or two, we could see it get down to that $15, but not sure if we'll see my original target of $10 because I think this card is starting to pick up some popularity. Now, when we talk about the Orange Rengar Alternate Art, I called this at $25. It's kind of sitting at $22, so it actually crashed below my target. So if you waited, you got even cheaper than I predicted. So that one beats the cost. So that's very cool. Which leads me to believe, why is the alternate just a couple more dollars than the regular? I don't know. Now, I do want to stop here for a second because the next two cards genuinely surprised me and not in the way I expected. So let's first talk about it. Mirror Image, the LeBlanc signature spell. I honestly called this one to be anywhere from I called this to be about like $10, but guys, it's sitting at $35. It went up from 30 to 35. And that is the complete opposite of what I called. And looking at Vex, I had her at $5. It's sitting at $16, up from $12. Also went the wrong way. So here's what I think actually happened. I think I missed how popular Vex as a character in this IP is. I underestimated the amount of starter decks being released. In my local area, there was a small allocation of Vex starter decks, which causes that chase for that card to kind of go up in demand. Secondly, reading Reddit and some of the Discords, LGSs were still selling the starter decks at $40, which is double MSRP. And as you guys know, you can get the Vex Epic unit in the starter deck, so it's effectively increasing the price of Vex. At this point, if you can get the starter deck at MSRP, that is actually going to be your play because now you're getting a $16 Epic plus a pack from that starter deck. So at this point, you're just winning. And now when it comes to Mirror Image, I really thought it was just going to be like Draven Zaxxas. Boy, was I straight up wrong. So I'll take a nail on that one. Now, if you held Mirror Image or Volk, you came out ahead. You were hoping to buy them cheaper? Well, we may have missed the window depending how the meta is. I don't know if these are going to come down anytime soon just because of the market prices of some of the starter decks are being sold at. And it looks like LeBlanc might be the big bad beast to beat this set. Now, let's get back to Baron. Baron Nashor Regular, I called $30 for it. It's at $26. So that's straight up dead on. Win, we'll take it. Now, the Baron Nashor Alternate Art, this is the one I called out to be around 60, maybe even $80. It's sitting at $33, well below my range. The entire Baron family overcorrected. Okay, guys, pros and cons, and let's just go ahead and be real about it, right? Now, pros, this is what I actually got right. The framework was right. Don't buy on pre-release weekend. I saw a bunch of comments of people saying, yep, definitely know that is the plan. Want to wait for that FOMO crash. And most of these cards' prices did exactly that. Vilemaw, Rengar, both Baron Nashor singles, Regulars, Alt Art, Ultimate, all of them, right? General direction was correct. Now, I used eBay comps, not TCGPlayer listings, as my price anchor. That methodology is right, and I always stand behind it because I believe TCGPlayer pricings are just wishes, or eBay sold comps are where the transaction happens. These are actually the everyday people that pull their cards from the pre-release and are listing them on TCGPlayer, trying to get them sold so that they can use that to buy more product. Those are where I tend to trust the numbers more when it comes to prices. Now, Vilemaw Alt Art and Baron Nashor Regular dead on. These are clean. I'm proud of those calls. Orange Regular Alt, you got it cheaper than I called. Bonus win for anyone who waited. Now, if you made it this long into the video, let me first of all say thank you. If you'd like to support the channel, check out my eBay store. The link will be in the description. I sell singles for Riftbound, Lorcana, Star Wars Unlimited, and Flesh and Blood. So anything you buy from the eBay store actually helps out the channel even more. If you buy anything, thank you. Now, cons. Let's talk about where I actually missed. Again, Baron Nashor Ultimate, I anchored it too hard on a single eBay sell. One $3,400 comp is not enough value to build a confident price target around. I should have built a much wider margin of error into that call. Instead of $3K, I probably should have called around $1,500. Now, the Baron Nashor Alternate Art at $33, the whole Baron family was mispriced, like I mentioned earlier, relative to the actual collector demand. I didn't account for how supply footing hits the entire card family simultaneously. There's going to be a lot more product. There's going to be a lot more hits, a lot more alternate arts. I just didn't account for that. And Mirror Image and Vex, I got the direction completely wrong. Player demand cards don't follow the same crash patterns as chase rares. So I'll be separating these going forward, and so should you. Especially be looking at the demand supply for those starter decks. I think that's going to make a big difference going forward. All right, guys. So what do you actually do with this information? Well, the Baron Nashor Ultimate at 1400, is that the floor? Honestly, I don't know. And I'm going to make the same mistake twice and give you a number that based on some of the data. What I will say is that if you're a collector and you've been wanting this card, $1,400 is a very different conversation than the original listing that we saw at $8,000. But I would say probably wait. Let the supply fully hit the market. Let the eBay comp stack over this week and next week. Now, if you're seeing 3-4 sales clustering around $1,200 to $1,400, that tells you that is the price point. So once you see that, that might be a good time to go in and buy it. Now, for Vilemaw Regular and Orange Rengar Regular, it's still moving in the right direction. If my targets are correct, you might need another week or two of patience. If you FOMO'd this long, don't FOMO in now. You just got to wait just before the finish line. As we start seeing some more tournaments coming and popping up, we're going to start seeing who the meta is going to be looking at in the United States, and that'll give you an idea. So if you're not seeing a lot of Rengar index, that price is going to go down. On the other hand, Mirror Image and Vex, if you want these guys, you probably may have missed a window. Player demand in this set has shown that they hold and actually appreciate. So I wouldn't chase them for hoping for a crash that might happen because LeBlanc is probably the big bad beast to beat. And that signature spell continue to go up in right price, as I'm seeing that most decks tend to carry 3 in the deck. Now, Baron Nashor Alt Art at $33 is one that actually intrigues me. If you want that Baron aesthetic at a fraction of the ultimate price, $33 is worth serious look. But as always, check eBay comps and TCGPlayer listings to make your best decision. And if you're going to buy any of these cards, use my TCGPlayer affiliate link. I'll have it in the description. Helps out the channel. Now, when it came to Baron Nashor, I was wrong. When it came to the Ultimate Rare, I was just wrong. So I get it. I'll take ownership of that. But that's next time I'll try to go ahead and do better. Now, if you bought any of these cards this week, whether you listened to my advice or you went your own way, go ahead and drop it in the comments. I want to know how you guys did. And guys, if y'all do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button, I have another case of Unleash that I will be opening. I'm still going to be hunting for the Baron Nashor Ultimate Rare. So make sure you're subscribed and jump onto that live stream. I would love to guys join me and chat with me while I will open up some product. Anyways, let me go ahead and thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys. Peace out, guys.